Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from Street Scores coming with a quick report. Jonathan Allen and the Washington football team have finally opened up contract talks. And before we get into this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscription button so you get a notification immediately and every time that I release an informative and opinionated video like this one here. Also, check out the rest of the channel. All of my videos are organized in playlists. I even have a comedy playlist for all of my funny videos, so make sure you go check all of that out. And without further ado, man, let's get it. Alright, so the Washington football team and Jonathan Allen have officially began contract extension talks. Jonathan Allen is currently on his rookie deal. We picked up his 5th-year option. So as of right now, he is a $10 million cap hit, which is by far the biggest cap hit that he's been for us since we drafted him 4 years ago. And I know some people may be thinking like, we just now began contract talks. What was all of that before? Before, it wasn't like official contract talks. It was just mutual interest between both parties, both the Washington football team and Jonathan Allen. They have both come out and said that they mutually want to agree to some type of long-term deal. But as of today, they've officially began contract talks. Like, Jonathan Allen and his agent have officially began to talk to the Washington football team and trying to actually discuss numbers and everything. Jonathan Allen even gave a quote earlier today. He said, quote, "I want to be here. This is my home. This is where I want to be." And mind you, Jonathan Allen is from Virginia. He's from around the area. I mean, he's literally from where we practice in the off season. Like, he's literally from very close to there. So this is like literally his hometown team. This is the team he grew up loving. He grew up a Washington football team fan, a burgundy and gold fan. So of course he wants to stay here. He also said, quote, "But I also understand that this is a business. Like I said, we're taking it day by day. We're going to continue to talk and we'll see what happens. I'm excited for what the future holds." So he sounds optimistic. And again, he clearly wants to be here. I really hope that he can. Allen also said, and this is probably the most exciting thing about this, is that he preferred to get a deal done before camp, and that of course that he wants to stay. So the fact that he's even kind of putting a deadline on it means he's more likely to sign a contract than say like a Brandon Sheriff, where there is no deadline. Brandon Sheriff hasn't said he preferred to sign before camp. He hasn't said he preferred to sign even before that deadline comes up in July for the franchise tag players. Like, he's just whatever. Like, whenever I hear the numbers I want to hear, then I'll accept it. But there's no like timeline that I would like to sign a contract. While Jonathan Allen, on the other hand, has a preferred time that he would officially like to just put all of this contract talk stuff behind him and in the past, so he can just purely focus on football and getting as good as he can and practicing and giving it his all during training camp, so we can go out there and be the best defense in the NFL. And he's going to play an integral part into that. But Jonathan Allen's contract situation is interesting. Again, he is a $10 million cap hit this year. That's the most by far. I mean, that's just how rookie deals work. The first 4 years, you know, they get paid a little bit after Sam Bradford. And then now the NFL had to create rules so that a Sam Bradford situation would never happen again. That's why players barely get paid their first 4 years. But if you pick up that 5th-year option, that's when they get a lot of money. That's when Jonathan Allen's getting this $10 million. To compare Jonathan Allen, and I feel like he's better than Leonard Williams in my opinion. Leonard Williams recently just signed a contract extension. He's getting paid an average salary of $21 million a year. Granted, he's only an $11 million cap hit 2021, but then he's a $26.5 million cap hit 2022, a $25.5 million cap hit in 2023. I don't think Jonathan Allen's going to cost that much, even though I feel like he's as good as Leonard Williams in a lot of ways and even better than him in certain ways. I feel like he's a better overall player. But at the end of the day, with the way this team is constructed, hopefully he'll take a hometown discount. I feel like Leonard Williams, first of all, is overpaid for a defensive tackle anyway that isn't named Aaron Donald in the first place. So that's another reason why I feel like Jonathan Allen will not charge us $21 million a year. But again, I also feel like he really wants to be a part of this team. I mean, his brothers, Deron Payne, Tim Settle, Matt Ioannidis, Chase Young, Montez Sweat. He wants to be a part of this team. Again, this is the team he grew up watching just as much as we love the burgundy and gold that we've been watching all our lives. He's the same way. And on top of that, he plays for his dream hometown team. So it does sound more likely for him to end up taking somewhat of a discount to stay with the team, to keep this team together, to continue being the best defensive line in football. Not too sure about it, but I am fairly confident in the fact that he will not charge us anywhere near as much as Leonard Williams is charging. Again, $21 million a year is kind of crazy for a defensive tackle not named Aaron Donald in the NFL, period. I don't feel like really any defensive tackle in the NFL, non-edge rusher, deserves $21 million a year other than Aaron Donald. And I would love to keep Jonathan Allen. First of all, he's a great leader. I mean, he's just one of those locker room guys. Even Ron Rivera has spoken about the fact that, like, they would love to keep Jonathan Allen, not only just because of what he does on the field, but his leadership. And I even love the quote that he gave. He said, "I get paid to whoop people's A-words. It doesn't matter what scheme I'm in." So he doesn't care if it's Jack Del Rios. He doesn't care if it's 4-3-3-4, whatever. He's paid to whoop people's A-words, and I love that mentality. He's been a strong leader since we drafted him, and I'm assuming he will continue to do the same. But also, this man is just a baller. Like, people don't really understand how good Jonathan Allen actually is. First of all, since 2018, he has the most tackles by any defensive tackle in the NFL with 192. Literally the most in the league. Cameron Hayward is second, DeForest Buckner is third, Sheldon Richardson is fourth, and Grady Jarrett is fifth. Also, him and Daron Payne led all interior defensive linemen last year in run stops. Daron Payne had 33, Jonathan Allen had 30. They were literally the top two guys in the NFL, both on the same team. That's kind of crazy. Also, Jonathan Allen is secretly a great pass rusher. He was 7th out of the entire NFL out of all defensive tackles, interior defensive linemen, in pass rush win rate. He was 7th with 13%. Aaron Donald was first with 24%. Chris Jones was 20%. Grady Jarrett was 19%. Quentin Williams was 17%. William Golson was 15%. Javon Hargrave was 15% as well. And then Jonathan Allen was tied for 7th with Stephon Tuitt, Quentin Jefferson with 13%. So he's a great run stopper. Again, him and Daron Payne each led the NFL in run stops. So he's a great run stopper. Like, the statistics are there. And then even advanced analytics say that he's one of the top 7 pass rushing defensive tackles in the NFL as well. So I think he's worth the money. Again, I don't think anybody's worth $21 million a year or more than that, you know, because how after one guy signs a contract, the next guy that tries to sign a contract, get a long-term extension, tries to outdo that previous guy's contract. But again, I don't feel like anybody other than Aaron Donald is worth $21 million a year, just period. And again, for the factors that I've already laid out, I feel like he will take somewhat of a hometown discount and maybe only charge us like $15 million a year or something like that. And just so that you know, we can afford it. I mean, just this year alone, we still have $17 million worth of cap space this year, and he's already making $10 million. So if we wanted to up that to $15-16 million a year, that's only taking away $5-6 more million from our total cap space, which would still leave us with over $10 million. And then of course his contract will hit 2022 and beyond. But right now we're estimated to have $60 million worth of cap space 2022, so that's not a problem. $116 million worth of cap space 2023, so of course that's not a problem. It just keeps going up and up and up. So right now there's nothing in the way of a Jonathan Allen contract extension if we feel like it's worth it. Now granted, Ron Rivera has shown that, hey man, if we can't reach this certain number, he's not budging. Eric Flowers only wanted $2 million more per year, and it ended up working out in the long run because now we have him for way cheaper than what we would have paid him for. So that's kind of crazy when you look back at it. And then Ronald Darby only wanted around $2 million more per year than what we were willing to offer him. And Ron Rivera does not budge. If he's not willing to pay that extra $2 million, he's not going to do it. Maybe Jonathan Allen's a different case because he's a locker room leader. He's one of those like staples of the team. He's definitely more important to this team's success than a Ronald Darby and an Eric Flowers. But we'll see. I really hope that we sign him long-term. I hope we sign everybody long-term. I want Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Terry McLaurin, this entire young core, Cameron Curl, eventually Jamin Davis, Cole Holcomb, all of these guys. I hope we keep our young core together because this is how you have long-term success and you create a dynasty. I feel like once we get our quarterback, it's over with, but that's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, man, please get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this entire situation. Please like this video if you liked it, if you learned anything. Again, man, as always, I appreciate all of the support, man. Everybody that donates to the channel, man, much love to y'all. Big shouts out to all of my sponsors, especially my Pro Bowl sponsors whose name you see scrolling on the screen right now. Man, I really appreciate all y'all, man. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.